together. Okay, welcome back into the porch.
I can just be a little ghost.
A little bit. I'm Red Dirt Preacher, also known as Lainey. With me on the side here is my 13-year-old daughter. He was brave enough to step forward. So we're going to try our best to act like you aren't here. But the reason that I'm doing this live is not some emotional child abuse. This is all with her permission. And she loves to be naked for the crowd, just like I do, spiritually naked, because it helps the fellow traveler and it could help the fellow believer. And it helps the fellow parent that's raising Christ-conscious kids. So hopefully, and so we don't have a teleprompter, and she just ran in here about 2 minutes ago. I finished a video just now for you guys, and I think I titled it, "This is going to get deep." But I spent about 20 minutes talking to you guys, and I got off of there, and I was moseying here about my desk. I'm getting ready to get up and go check on my kids, and she runs in here with an epiphany. And is excited with tears, and we get to talk, and of course she brings up the Spirit and the Godhead that lives in the home, and so she brought up Jesus and His Spirit and started asking a lot of great questions, and I said, stop right there, why don't we just catch lightning in a bottle for the second time, and we'll just go and put this on the porch.
I kind of already know I'm going to cry. Like that will happen.
We can cry.
I will cry.
Alright, so Kelly, you can say hello to the porch.
Hello.
This is Kelly, Red Dirt Preacher's little girl. So, Kelly... We'll scoot in. So you have to... I'll scoot in. So you have to pretend like they're not here. It's okay.
That's all right.
They have family that's done this to them before. They're used to it. It's okay. All right, so you ran in here. Why? Just freaking out and asking questions because you were on YouTube land and you heard what? No.
Yeah. I was on YouTube and they're YouTube Shorts.
You have to talk probably a little bit louder, but I'm listening. Go ahead. YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I was on YouTube Shorts and there was this little video from like TikTok or something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. Just,
right. All right, I get you.
And there's this guy who was like explaining this thing in the Bible very explicitly, but not complicated for me to not get it.
Okay.
And want answers.
So what did he say?
And he was like, he started it out with like, "Hi, my name's whatever. I want to go to heaven, but I don't want to mosey around in the clouds for all of eternity. It's gonna get boring."
All right.
But I don't want to go to hell either. That's horrible.
So you come running in here because you're like, what is that about? We just mosey around.
I don't want to get bored in the clouds.
You don't want to get bored in the clouds. That's cute. You think heaven is being bored in the clouds. Kelly, I've never been to heaven, but I tell you what, you know what Jesus is, right?
Yes.
Are you bored here?
Not really.
Aren't you just moseying around the dirt?
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's stuff to do.
There's stuff to do.
Like in my own
There's ways to think, right? And you got your mind, you got your heart, and Jesus is still working with you here, right? Now, if you go to heaven and you said, what is heaven like? I don't want to be bored and just mosey around the clouds all day. Aren't you just moseying around the dirt around here?
Yeah.
We just gave you a bunch of stuff to do and put a clock on the wall. It's going to make you busy. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you go to heaven, you're not really moseying around the clouds all day. There's actually stuff to do just as much as there's stuff to do here. There's things to think on. There's things to grow on. And there's things to grow and love on. Just like there is here. You're not going to be bored.
I thought we just dance around in the clouds in little white dresses.
We don't just dance around the clouds in little white dresses. Do you think that everybody in Africa runs around in a loincloth chasing lions?
No.
That's not true.
No.
Do you think everybody in Oklahoma rides a horse and lives in a teepee? No.
Rides a tornado?
No. So not have such small mind about what heaven is, okay? Heaven's actually God's heart. And have you ever heard people say his name in vain? They're like, Jesus H. Christ. Have you ever heard that? And nobody really knows what Jesus' middle name is, but I'm going to take a guess. Maybe it means Jesus, Heaven, Christ. Right? I think being in heaven is literally living inside of Jesus' heart. Are you not doing that right now?
I am.
Do you have a piece of heaven on earth?
Yes.
Let's see.
I'm not dead.
You're not going to be bored moseying around the clouds all day. Heaven's more than that.
There's stuff to do.
There's stuff to do. I'm sure there's stuff to do.
Figure
and
out
it's a
how
great
to
surprise. It's a great surprise. Let me play this on you. Do you know? Okay, so you're worried about leaving one type of life and going into the other and not knowing what to expect.
Not having eyes to see, just to feel. I just feel happiness. That's great. But I want to see. I want to feel. I want to do stuff with legs.
Let me blow your mind.
Okay.
I'm glad this is live. We have no idea. This is all new to me too. This is new to Kelly. This is live. I want to say something to you. Do you know that you once were inside of my body?
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Do you remember it?
No.
What if I tell you were once at home with Jesus? Do you remember it?
Nope.
Do you know that, though?
Yes. How do I know that?
How do you know you're in my belly? You know because I told you. And you know where you come from because God said so in the Bible where you come from. You come from Him. Just like you came from me. Do you remember being in there?
Nope.
Did you know that you did not breathe air? You were a fish.
I was a fish.
Right?
Yeah.
You had lungs, but you didn't use them. Do you know that when you were inside of my body, you actually were aquatic? You lived in water. Can you live in water right now?
No.
So you completely changed.
I evolved.
But that was you, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see my face?
Nope.
But did you hear my voice?
Probably. I don't know.
I know I did because I sung and it soothed you, and you actually babies hear their mother the vibrations of her talking, and that's why once they have them, they can lay them on their chest and soothe them. The babies remember the talking.
That's so
And it's
cool.
soothing. So yes, I did talk to you on purpose. Does God talk to you on purpose?
All the time.
Do you see His face?
No.
You starting to understand what I'm telling you?
Oh, but yeah.
Right? Did you know when you were in my belly that there was an entire different world outside my stomach?
Nope. I thought it was just water.
I bet you when you're in there, I know you weren't thinking, but if you could think, I bet you were in there thinking that this is the only world that I live in. I don't need to breathe air. I don't need to do anything. I just mosey around in the water all day.
Well, there's things to do.
There was things to do. And you had no idea what coming out of that world was going to be like for you, but you did it. And now look, you're a person.
Now I don't want to leave this.
That grows. Exactly. You're in another wound. You know what I'm saying? You're that's what you are now. You popped out of that world and now you're in this world. And while you walk around being a physical human being that breathes air now, you can still hear, not your mother, but your father. You don't need to see his face, but you hear his voice. You don't have to worry about going to heaven and making it or not. It's the next stage of your life. Just like you were a baby in my belly, and now you're a person in this body. You're going to be a spirit with him in his body. There's nothing to fear. It's not like you have to die and then worry what happens. It's the next stage. Did your baby self go, oh God, I'm dying?
No.
Maybe you thought that. But you weren't dying. You were starting to be a whole new life. And when this dies, you're going to go right into the Father's arms and start an entire new life.
But I don't want to live again.
The Spirit never stops. And Jesus shows us that because His Spirit is still alive, everlasting, evergreen.
But, if you said we have past lives, those same past lives...
Not everybody believes that we have past lives. I told you about that. You're going to get hit around for that. It's all based on you belief. But I do, now that I'm conscious, yes.
You said we,
I think we're all connected. We just go around and around and around and around and around.
And we go around again.
Right?
But that's the thing, though. If we do have past lives...
I can't hear you talk loud.
Oh.
They can't hear you.
If you do have past lives, I'm also scared because when I go back, I don't want to be rebirthed. I want to stay.
Maybe I'm pretty sure this is everybody's last life. You know what I mean? Besides, you have choices. You have choices all the time. You probably chose to come down here and be this life.
To figure it out.
Yeah, we have choices, exactly. We don't want to remember all of that. We can barely remember our grocery list and if we called someone. We don't try to remember how we got here, why we got here. It's better for us just to figure it out than it is for us to try to remember it. You know what I'm saying? The other question that you had was mercy and grace. What was that about?
I figured out from the video that you die, you go to heaven. Heaven's not temporary. You go to...
Heaven's not temporary? Or it is temporary?
It is temporary.
This is what YouTube and TikTok... Yeah. I gotta get out in the world. I gotta go. I gotta get to YouTube.
But heaven's temporary, and you're gonna get a whole new world, and you're gonna get...
1,000 years.
You're gonna get your old body back.
Well, that's what they say.
You're gonna get all your senses back.
God's a man of his word.
You're gonna have to learn how to pay taxes again, and then
no, we don't pay no taxes.
Yeah.
Nice joke though.
Yep. And then you do that for
1,000 years.
Time.
Long time.
Yep. And then it's a final judgment. And I already thought that when we die, it was already final judgment. No.
We hang out until everybody gets judged, even the dead people. Everybody just kind of hangs out, little heaven-esque, little hangout with Jesus. It's awesome. You know, and then we have a final judgment. But that, like I said, that is actually argued by religions. They argue about what order that all comes in. Don't worry about what order it comes in.
It comes.
It comes, right? Were you when you were a baby, were you already freaking out about how your soul was going to die? No, you still had another thing to do. You have to do this first, and then you got to, you know what I'm saying? It comes in its own.
Yeah, but I was scared because, like, there's Jesus. Jesus is my best friend.
Good.
I live with him.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And he has mercy, and I understand, and I'm happy with that.
He has mercy and grace.
Yes, I'm, like, at peace with that. Like, instead of being, like, oh, worried, I'm all like,
right.
I understand.
You understand.
I'm going like this again because God does the final judgment. I'm like,
oh, so you think that Jesus' grace is on like a curveball, but you're afraid that once you get in, like, you won't make it past God.
Yeah.
God's not a boss stage in Mario, baby. Let's break that down. I don't know who taught you that. Yeah, God's not a boss stage.
Like, Jesus is my best friend, and then his dad, God, is like,
No, they're same, baby. They're same. And where you have one, you have the other. No one can be next to God unless they get through Jesus. That's what he said. I am the one way. You have Jesus, and you're automatically going to God. You can't get to God unless you get to Jesus first.
Or God's gonna say
Jesus only keeps good company, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, is he not going to keep good? He's going to keep good company. If you're hanging out with Jesus and you're good company, that's good company enough to take to the Father. And it's not like you're getting judged again. What's good for Jesus is good for the Father. Understand? It's like they're one. All right. If I'm going to cook you a meal, what isn't Dad going to cook you like the same meal because it was good for you?
Yeah.
Right? You know, okay, we're of the same house. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
Slytherin.
Like God and Jesus are the same house. What's good, what Jesus calls good, is good for God. You understand?
Like
blessed. Mercy and grace is enough to cover you, babe. Don't ever think that it's going to fall short on you. I'm your mom. I love you unconditionally. Have you messed up?
Yes.
Have you drawn things on the wall in a brand new house in your brother's room when you weren't supposed to?
Yes.
Okay. Look at your blush. It's pink as your sweater. Teenagers. All right. So you have done things, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Have I forgiven you?
Yes.
Did I ever lash out at you, or did I have grace right there?
Grace.
I had understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Human.
Are you worried one day that I'm going to run out of that?
No.
Don't worry that or Jesus is going to run out of it with you. He's your dad. I'm your mom. If I love you like this, he loves you like this. Understand? Don't let the devil ever tell you that there's not enough grace and mercy to go around. It ain't welfare checks.
You know, one of my favorite days is I had this day. I always remember this day because that day is just that day. And I specifically heard the devil in my head, like, what if Christianity's wrong and you're not going to go to heaven? You know, what if there's an entirely different religion?
The same voice that cusses in your head when you're trying to pray?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Demons.
that's the devil.
Yeah.
Right?
And I explicitly remember being like, oh yeah, that's not.
You don't have to be
you
don't have to be the right label to be good with God. He wants every person to choose for themselves. It doesn't matter what religion you're part of. If you call yourself Protestant, Baptist, Catholic, it doesn't matter. Churches are not going to do the job that you have to do. And your job is to personally get in a relationship with Jesus Christ all on your own. You're responsible for that. Just like cleaning your room. That is your space. My job, to clean the whole house. Your job, clean your room. That's your space. Don't let...
Jesus is going to clean up the world.
So, yeah, don't believe lies in your head that one certain part of people are just going to be... They're wrong, and because they're wrong, they're going to go to hell. That's wrong. You know what I mean? That's wrong. And everybody has a piece of truth, and everybody has omission, which is like a lie. It's not like we got lied to. It's like somebody took the truth away from us. So we kind of had to figure it out for ourselves. And everybody's done that. So it's just not enough to quite get the whole truth. But don't ever think that one religion is worse or bad than the other. They're all trying to do their best with what the knowledge that they have. And they're all trying to be good people, and they're all trying to love God. They just make up rules for how they're going to do it. Me and you, we live here on the porch where we just have Jesus and that's it. You have Jesus and I have Jesus. All right? Mm-hmm. You have a spirit and I have a spirit.
We don't really have rules. We just...
And you have to share. There's enough here for both of us. Exactly. There's enough here for everyone. And I'm not giving you rules on how Jesus is going to love you. Because the ways that he's going to love you are weird, magical,
numbers,
unorthodox,
icy fire,
different. Very true. He'll work with you in the ways that he works with you, and that's the thumbprint of God. So, do you have any other questions? Are you good? Did we leave some of the lies on the table? Do you have clarity?
Okay. Okay, things that we've done that I understand is that
Things that we've done. He snorted. That's great.
If we go with Jesus, it's the same thing with God. They agree, like, yes.
Yes, Jesus and God agree. Yes.
Same.
Do you like car
same
salesmen?
opinions.
They both agree. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a nice car.
That feels really good.
You good?
Yep.
High five.
The fact that once I go to heaven, I have my senses, I have my body.
Honey, you're not going to do without anything you don't already have here.
That's true.
Sovereignty, freedom of choice, big heart to love, eyes to see, mouth to move, feet to walk. You're going to be all right. You're not losing nothing.
And then
Did you lose anything when you came out of my belly and into this world? I'm pretty sure you kept all the same
I think
stuff.
I lost my fish gills in there, though.
That's the That's all right. Anyway, you're not losing anything. You're gaining things.
Because, like, go to heaven.
Don't be afraid.
It's like you have everything.
Like a
And
tadpole.
there's things to do.
You're like a tadpole, and then a pollywog, and then a frog.
Yeah. And then you go to the new world for 1,000 years. And it's like, oh, so wonderful. And then you go to final judgment. And I don't know where you go after that.
Is a tadpole still a frog?
Yeah. Well.
It is that way, right?
Yeah.
Tadpole, pollywog, frog. Are they all not a frog?
Yeah.
Are they all amphibians? They're all the same thing, right? It's the same thing. How many life cycles did he have?
3.
How many are you going to get?
3.
One's
Like
in my
the
belly,
butterfly?
one's on the dirt, one's in the clouds.
You just did one called butterflies.
Yes, butterflies, same point. Chrysalis, pupa, caterpillar, butterfly. Is a caterpillar a butterfly?
No.
Well, come on.
Well, yes.
Is a teenager a human?
Yes.
Okay, is a baby a person?
Yes.
You're a child. People don't even treat you like a person because you're a child, but aren't you a person?
Yes.
Don't you want to count? Don't you matter?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of different things that have different life cycles, but they're still the same thing. So you're still going to be Kelly all through all of this. You were Kelly in my belly, you're Kelly on the dirt, and you're going to be Kelly to Jesus in the sky.
And then we'll be Kelly on the second earth, and then we'll be Kelly in the final judgment.
You're always going to be Kelly. And you're always going to just be in love with Jesus, and you go where he goes.
But after the final judgment, do we get?
Don't worry about what you
Do we
get.
come back to earth?
I don't know. I haven't been there yet. You want to take a wild ride with me?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Jesus said he's the man he is. So read the good book. It does tell you.
I want to be on the earth a long time.
Well, I'm sure you will. You got a while. You're like, what, 13?
Yeah.
You're probably going to be here for a while. I hope you got nothing to do.
Then I die.
All right,
and I
we're
go to the second earth. I hope that I go back to the second
Yeah, we all do, because 1,000-year reign. Man, Jesus is going to come back and make the whole planet recycled and awesome, and we're going to come back and be like, hoorah.
Same bodies!
Yeah, pretty, you know? As far as we know, that's what's working out, you know?
Okay.
Why are you worried? You're not coming back as a pollywog. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I think that wraps it up. She just had honest and open questions, and I think it was fair and humble. Humble we are, but I think it was fair to bring that out loud. So, Kelly, thank you for being brave. Thank you for bringing those type of intimate questions out aloud in front of me, in front of her.
It was really funny, and it was really fun to do. It was just really awesome.
Kelly does a great job talking like Napoleon Dynamite. But you have to do it loud so they can hear you because you're really quiet.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, actually. It was like really fun. But now I'm kind of bored because I'm going to go back to my room and I'm going to...
Like, bake me a cake or something.
Yeah, I'm going to bake a cake. It's going to be really awesome.
She's great. Anyway, it's great to see you guys, Porch. It's getting late. So, anyway, we'll see ya. As I say, stay kind, stay in your mind.